Let's now look at the exam questions on translations. So this is chapter 2, lesson 4, exercise master. The first one is this. This is from March 2022. And the question is this: express 2x squared minus 8x plus 14 in a form, in this completed square form. All right, so let's go over there and do that. Okay, so first thing, just factorize the 2 over there. So you are left with this. Then do the completed square form on this thing that you have inside the brackets. So you put square brackets, then open brackets, you do x, half of that minus 2, close brackets, square it. Now mentally square minus 2 square, that's 4, so remove it. So minus 4 plus a 7 minus 4 plus 7, that's 3. And you already have it on the way that the question asked. All right? So your A is going to be 2, your B is going to be 3. Then the functions f and g are defined by f is x squared for all values of x, and g of x equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 14, also for all values of x. Describe fully a sequence of transformations that maps the graph of f of x onto the graph of g of x, making clear the order in which the transformations are applied. Okay, so if you start with x squared, how can you get into that? The first thing that you should do in this type of questions is to write the quadratic in its completed square form, which you already did on the previous question. So if this is f of x, if x squared is f of x, what is this going to be? This is going to be basically if you look at it this way, you are going to have the function f of x minus 2. This should be, plus 3 and the whole thing times 2. Again, don't forget what f is. F is x squared. So what you have here, this is not x, this is x minus 2 squared. So basically f of x minus 2 plus 3, the whole thing times 2, right? And now it should be simpler for you to see the transformations that are taking place. Let's look at the first one. The first one changed x squared into x minus 2 squared. So what is this? This is a translation by the factor 2, 0, right? Then what happens? Then you add 3. So what is this? This is a translation by the factor 0, 3. If you combine these two, you have a translation by the factor 2, 3. And finally, what happens to all of this is multiplied by 2, right? So what is this? This is a stretch that is parallel to the y-axis with scale factor 2, a vertical stretch with scale factor 2. Okay, this is what you should answer. Let's look at another one. This one is from October-November 2020. It has to do with trigonometry, which we didn't cover yet. At least this function is a trigonometric function, is a cosine function, which we didn't cover yet, but you don't need to know anything about this to answer the question. It just says, in the diagram, the lower curve has equation y equals cosine of theta, that's this one, and the upper curve shows the result of applying a combination of transformations to the bottom one. Find, in terms of a cosine function, the equation of the upper curve. So what happened here? Now compare. How many cycles you have here? You have 1, 2. How many you have on top? You have 1. So there is a transformation over here. What is it? This is a stretch with scale factor 2, a horizontal stretch with scale factor 2. So here you have one thing. Now, let's look at the range of y in the original function. It goes from -1 to 1, so you have a range of 2 units. Let's look at the range of the new function. It goes from 1 to 5, so it has a range of 4 units. So the range doubled. So what you have here, you have a vertical stretch with scale factor 2, right? And what else do you have? You have the obvious shift of the whole thing being moved up. Now you have been stretching this function horizontally and vertically. So now you have this. So how much did it go up? It starts over here, goes over here, that goes up over here. It goes up 3 units, right? So you have a vertical translation of 3 units. Let's see over here. So what's going on? You have a stretch on the x-axis with scale factor 2, as we saw. How do you do this mathematically? You do f of 1/2 of x. You don't have x in this case, you have theta, right? So what is this going to be on the cosine function? It's going to be cosine of 1/2 of theta instead of theta, or cosine of theta over 2. Then you have the stretch on the y-axis, which doubles the range. That is a scale factor 2. So you just multiply 2 by the function as a whole. So that's 2 cosine of theta over 2. And then finally, you have the vertical translation up by 3 units. So basically, that's a translation by 0.3, which is basically adding 3 units to the function as a whole. So it's going to be 2 cosine of theta over 2 plus 3. So the new function, the g, is going to be 2 cosine of theta over 2 plus 3.